Welcome back, everybody, to round two of the AM2 division. Today we are at Netherlands. Hopefully, it is just as good as Japan. Speaking of Japan, I'm going to go over the driver's standings first. As we can see here, we got Electric Blade on top, as he was our winner last week. Then we got Nick Minty in second, and Stubbly. Those were our podium three. Then we got F7R, MVD, Hood, Orlando, Mail Carton, and Kane, and then DK are rounding out our points finishers for the first race. As we take a look at constructors, we have Red Bull on top with 25, Haas in second with 22, Mercedes in third with 20, McLaren in fourth with 16, Aston Martin in fifth with 15, and then Alfa Romeo with 2 points and AlphaTauri with 1. Williams, Alpine, and Ferrari did not score any points in the first event. As we go back to the Netherlands here. Perfect. Okie As we are here at the Netherlands, and I'm going to introduce my co-commentator, Devil. How you doing tonight?
Hello, everyone. Hey, Schultz. I'm doing good. Hope you are too. Really looking forward to tonight's race. So hopefully, AM2 can give us a good one.
Why is there no audio? Love that. Because, why would I want audio, right?
Well, if you want a quiet race,
What the heck is going on? Oh, there we go. Now audio's back. Sorry about that for a second, boys. Just trying to get everything settled here, but looks like we are good. Okie dokie.
looks like a dry session today. A wet race as well. As drivers are reporting, that should make things interesting.
You love to see it. We just love hearing rain in the forecast. That always makes things more interesting. We're hoping for a bit of a cleaner race this week because there were a few incidents last week. But you live and you learn, is what I always say. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully, everyone's got a bit of a taste of what not to do. And yeah, they'll be much cleaner, hopefully, this race.
As we're going to go on board with the Haas, as he will be the first one crossing the line for his first lap. As this is a very high downforce track. Lots of twists and turns, lots of fast twists and turns. As we'll see him go through the banked roundabout here. We'll see what his Sector 1's time is. It's going to be a 24-1. His lap is looking pretty clean so far.
That
Gotta,
storm behind him with a 24-9.
gotta stay off that curb. If you get on there, you're going to ride it like a roller coaster. Hood having some internet issues tonight. Hopefully he can get in and stay in. As Sector 2 split for male is 48-2, I think that said. Purple sector, obviously, since they're the first ones, since it's the first one out on a lap here. Come to the final two corners here. Want to keep it tidy off the curb, hug the right inside line there. DRS open, very long ways, and a 109.5 as the first lap of the night.
Fuse looks like he's on a good lap as well. Might challenge Carton at the front there.
Go on board. Oh, as he set a lap right as I was switching to him. And
2 tenths behind.
what is going on? Why are all the time? What is going on tonight? I didn't even put the tire graphic on the screen and it just magically popped up. Okay.
Love to see it as Stubbly goes 109.2.
Sorry, everybody, about the technical difficulties here. We'll go on board with DK as he's coming out of the final corner. Very long DRS straight. The first, well, I guess technically the second DRS straight, as he puts a 109.8 to slot him P5 at the moment. And now we'll go on board with Nick, P2 last week. We'll see if he can follow that up with another podium this week. As I didn't realize Redog, 109.0. He is the qualifying merchant. We'll see if his race pace can hold up. As Nick's coming around the final corner here, we'll see what his lap time is. It'll put him provisionally P4 with a 109.7.
Looking back at the Alpha Romeo of Sponini, did a good first sector with a 24.3, I believe. Could challenge as Fire Gab goes pole by 200ths of a second.
Also worth mentioning that I forgot at the start of the show, Redog is now full-time in that AlphaTauri, so we'll see what type of season he can put together. Also, everybody wish Electric Blade, your race one winner, a happy birthday. It is his birthday today, and happy Valentine's Days to all who celebrate.
A lot to celebrate this week, for sure.
As bro, I don't know what is going on with my details are like switching without me actually switching them. That is weird.
Wow,
Okay, let's hope that doesn't
love to see
continue
it.
throughout the thing. I don't know if that's an EA problem or a me problem. But 1095 for Spanini there. We'll go on board with Chewy here as he's gonna open the DRS. Bro, my sinking lap times went away too. What is going on? As he sets a 49.1 second sector split.
Electric Blade also coming around the final corner to set his lap time. Goes 10th with a 109.8.
As it looks like MVD has backed off. So we will go on board with
I
Orlando,
believe
because it looks like he'll
Orlando,
be the
yes.
next person setting it up here. Or at least who hasn't set it yet. Opening in the DRS. 48.1 middle split, purple sector, according to the track map. But that does sound like a decent second sector split time. As he
Yeah,
will
that sounds
open,
about what others were doing as well. So yeah, might be a competitive lap time here.
which I've noticed a few of these guys so far, they don't hug the inside like I do, but a 109.2 will put him provisionally P3. As now
Top
we'll,
four separated by just over 2 tenths.
as now we'll go on board with
Love to see
Fiverr
it.
with a 48.3 middle split there. Looks pretty respectable. We'll see if he can finish off the lap. As the DRS is open. Again, does not hug the inside. And he's going to set a 1096 to put him P9 after his first lap. Go on board with
Exotic. Yeah, I was just about to say exotic, but yeah.
That's
Love
okay.
how we're always in tune with each other.
Yeah, like those we're like twins, bro. We know exactly what's going on there. As he'll open DRS, his second sector split time is a 48.7, so a bit down on everybody else's. Probably still a 109. I'm gonna guess a high 108 will be a pull time. Is what it looks like it's gonna be there. As Exotic hugs it a lot more than everybody else, we'll see a 110.2, which will put him P14 provisionally.
As Fuse behind him in the Ferrari is going through the second sector. He was a tenth and a half, just over a tenth and a half up on his first lap. So hopefully he'll uh, jump up.
As he's 2 tenths up. Again, I don't know why that put that in that camera mode. So again, sorry, technical difficulties tonight. I definitely am hitting the right buttons, so I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'll try and bring it as good as I can here. As Fuse is going to cross the line with a 1094, which will move him up into P5. Very close. Very close. Just like last week. AM2 is a very close division here, as we're going to go on board with Redog as he's finishing up his lap here. DRS active. Again, does not hug the inside there.
think he's about to just start a lap.
Oh, I was gonna
Really?
say 121. He must have backed off, but he's because he's only got 30% ERS. So
Yep.
I don't know if he's gonna set another lap there, but we will go.
Also, to everybody in the chat, remember to put in your predictions as to how many different constructors are going to be in the top five today. There's about 8 minutes left, so hurry up and lock in your predictions for this evening.
Bro, what is going on? Like the freaking gap in that disappeared again. Bro, I don't
Man,
know what is going on, but I'm hitting the right buttons, so I'm a bit confused on why it's just switching like that. Sorry, everybody. Like, I don't know what's going on there, but I'll try and, yeah, I'll try and bring that as good as I can. As it looks like all 19 drivers have set their first lap times.
Chewy just went across the line with a 1:10.1. So that puts him P14 for the moment.
As Redog is diving into the pits.
Stubley is going on a second attempt. He is a tenth up on his first sector.
Stubbly. Fourth. And all my graphics went off the screen again. I am so sorry, everybody. I don't know what is going on. The graphics literally. I wonder. Can you message Ricky and see if there's a fix? I don't know,
Sure,
or comms chat and see if anybody else had this issue.
sure, sir.
As Stubbly sets a marginally better lap time, but still P5 for him. As somebody just jumped up the sheets, but I couldn't see who. Matt Duo jumping up to P6. I definitely wasn't there before. Good lap by him. As it looks like Electric Blade is gone up to P10, and the stinking overlays changed again.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
great.
not
And
sure
now I
why
freaking
it's happening for you.
and now
It's
I
not for me.
activate sticky keys.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. This is just an abysmal.
as Electric Blade jumps onto P10 with a 109.5. Um, let's let Ben work on his issues while I bring you some of the lap time. Matt Duo is half a tenth behind on his second attempt. Let's see who else is on a hot lap. Looking at Fiverr at the moment. He's going through the first sector here. He puts up a 124.2. Looks to be fairly competitive. He's going through the second sector at the moment. Uh, takes the goes a little bit wide at the apex there. Missed that a little bit. Going through the second sector time, he is up by a tenth. A lot of guys still on the pits here. He's making his way down to the final chicane. Goes a little bit loose there, but gets the car on hold. And he's diving into the pits. Yeah, I think he lost a lot of time going through that final sector. As now I'm looking at Zotic. He just finished a lap. Warren is diving back into the pits as well. A lot of people in. Let's look at what our pole sitter is doing, and he has invalidated. So pretty much everybody on a cooldown at the moment. We're waiting for one final burst from these guys. Hopefully you have your issues fixed, Ben.
I don't think there's a fix or not that I can figure it out, so I'm just gonna have to try my best to get the graphics off the screen as quick as I can if they pop up. Sorry again, everybody. I don't know what's going on here. Never had this issue before. I want to say it's the
Well,
game because I'm not doing anything different.
hopefully during the race it will fix itself. You know, EA.
It's like if I press shift and I change people, it changes the tire graphic.
Wow. Uh, I'm going on board with Nick Minty here. Might want to check him out. He is
Yeah.
a tenth and a change up on his first lap. Takes a very wide line there, coming out to the final corner before the sector 2 opens the DRS. He is 2 tenths up on his times. What looks like a purple middle sector. Going through now to the final turn before the DRS zone. Gets a good exit. Not bad. Doesn't hook up the curbs. Opens the DRS. Going through the line, it's a 109.5 that puts him only P12.
No, it's not even when I hit shift, it's when I hit anything. That's just great.
As
As
Orlando is taking out the brake markers and going for a little visit to the grass and the gravel. Looking at Electric Blade here.
wonder, I want
Go-
to check something here.
Going through the second sector, he's up marginally, just under a tenth. So if he keeps it up, he might get into P6, P7. He opens the DRS, takes a good line out of the final corner. Going through the line, it's a 109.4. It's P8 for Birthday Boy Electric Blade.
Okay.
Let's see, who else is on a hot lap? DK Nortec seems to be on a hot lap. He is about even on his first sector split. And he goes onto the curbs there. That's a not a good line. Hopefully he hasn't lost too much time. He is about even going through sector 2 as well.
Is Hood getting back in here? Does anybody know?
Uh, Let me try inviting him again.
Okay. As DK is going to dive into the pits. As we'll go on board with Deathstorm. See if he's got a good lap going in here.
Believe Redog is also on a hot lap. He was 2 tenths up on the 3 tenths up actually in sector 2.
We'll go on board with him then, because Death was just starting his lap. DRS is open, hugs the inside, and it's going to be a 108.6 to put him high up into the top there. Not even close, really.
It's 4 tenths the gap.
Oh, as Exotic. Looks like he's wrecked out in the round or in the hairpin, but he is reset back to the pits now.
Oh no.
As we're gonna go on Deathstorm as he's finishing his lap here. See if he can improve, and he is invalidated. This is not what you like to see out of the Williams driver. Warren is on a slow lap. We'll see.
Everybody, a lot of people just starting their laps here. Trying to find someone who is.
As
Oh,
Male
okay.
Cartman
Mad.
goes P7.
Let's. As Firebag is 3 tenths down on his time and is breaking the marker boards.
As
Spunini,
these
meanwhile, is 2 tenths up on the middle sector. Purple.
as these will be the
Middle.
final laps.
And he's invalidated. Oh, that is unfortunate. It looked like he was going to challenge Redog there for pole, but unfortunately he misses out as Stubley goes P2 with a 109 flat.
Not too bad, as it looks like the other Aston Martin is coming to the line here. Looks like he's marginally up. We'll see if he can slot up any higher. One more position. I'm sure he'll take that with a 109.3. tires. We'll go on board with Chaggerty here as he's coming to the line.
As Chewie goes to P16.
He is blinking, so he's going to come to the pit road.
As Carton has just parked his car at the side. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified. And he retires on track. That is not something you want to do. But that's probably the end of qualifying as well.
Looks like it is. Hopefully these issues do not persist in the race, or I will pull my hair out. Gotta love EA,
Uh,
don't you?
yeah. But all in all, I think it was a good qualifying there. Redog clearly on pole with 4 tenths, but P2 to P8, P9, it's about half a tenth gap. I think P2 to P12, I want to say. So
It'll
it's
be
close.
it'll be interesting to see his race pace in the end. We'll see if he can keep up with everybody. So
Yep.
we got Redog on pole, Stubbly P2, Fire Gab P3, Spanini P4, Orlando P5, Matt Duo P6, Fuse P7, Male P8, Electric Blade, the birthday boy in P9, DK P10, F7R P11, Nick P12, Fiverr P13, Chaggerty P14, Exotic P15, MVD P16, Deathstorm P17, Warren P18, and Fragile P19 rounding out your field. And as we were saying, we think it's a rain race. So everybody get your snacks, cozy up. It's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, rain races aren't always fun, but they bring out some really good battles. You know,
Oh, it's raining all right. It's definitely coming down. Uh, but who knows? Last week it looked like it was coming down and people were rolling out on softs. So we know and we don't know. We'll see the tire strat when it comes up here. I'm sure it'll pop on the screen by mistake.
looks like there are a lot of puddles, so I'm guessing people will be on the wets. Let's see who's bold enough to put on the intermediates. At least that's what it looks like to me at the moment.
Personally, I would
It-
go out there on the hards, but you know what? If they want to go with the wets, I fully understand.
Well, I can tell you it's not easy driving on the hards when it's drizzling, not pouring. So
Yeah, it
I'm not gonna.
definitely looks wet out there. Lots and lots of puddles. We'll see who if anybody wrecks if they go play in the puddles before they go home to their trailer.
Hopefully, people don't go into their shells because it's raining. Hopefully, it's more wheel to wheel. Uh, yeah, but looks like we're getting started.
Are we? Oh, we are.
Yes.
As none of my graphics are up, but that's 5 lights, and away we go. Maybe, maybe, and now we go. As we are away, it looks like a good getaway from Redog, but a good getaway from Stubbly as well. Redog or Stubbly is going to. Oh, and we got a McLaren in the grass. That looks like that is Orlando. Lots of double file back there. Lots of spray. It does look like everybody is on the full wet tire, which is probably the right move.
There are two people I can tell you are on intermediates. That is Spanini in P4 at the moment, and Fiverr is in P12.
And I think we have a VSC. I don't know if
Wow.
that's because somebody spun or if there's too much rain. I know we had it a while ago where it came to a VSC when on the first lap of the race when it was raining heavily. So I don't know if that's what's happening here, but I'm just gonna switch back from a few spots for a second. Okay, so it looks like that
Looks like
issues.
everybody has their.
Slow issues.
Oh, Orlando is missing a front wing, I
Oh,
think.
that would make sense. As we'll look on the
Yeah.
tires real quick. We got Spanini and Fiverr on the inters, everybody else on the wets as we're back to green. I'm gonna have to cycle through everybody because my um, other buttons aren't working when I do numbers, so the stream might look a little bit more choppy this week. I'm sorry about that, but there's not much I can do about it. As we are on board with Matt Duo here. Looks like Male, Electric Blade, and Nick all going to be fighting for spots here. Probably going to be a bit harder to pass in the
Oh,
wet here. At an already tough track to pass at, I would say. As
as Chewy gets a
as
5-second speeding penalty in the pit lane.
that is not what you like to see this early on. I'm guessing he might have had some damage. I don't see why else he would be pitting this early, but it looks like Fuse and DK are battling. Still double file. We'll see who can make the pass there. As Fuse goes on the grass just a hair, but DK is going to stay in fifth there. Oh, as we have an
This,
Alfa Romeo, as
oh,
Spanini is out. Hopefully nobody else hits him while they're going past there. That's going to be a safety car, which probably
unfortunate.
going to expect a few of those with the rain. As there's the tire strategy. Just FYI, I think Hood's lagged out if you want to maybe send him another invite. He's in Ghost, so
Uh,
I'm going to guess he's lagged out.
uh,
Um,
I don't know if he ever made it, to be honest.
oh, okay. I just need his cars on
But
here.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that's
he's not online.
unfortunate for Spanini there. I'm sure he just got loose in the rain. It does look very heavy. I don't know if
He
it's going to
was
lighten
on
up.
the Inters though, so
Yeah,
you
that
never
probably had
know.
something to play into it.
Yeah, unfortunate two races. I think he DNF'd in Japan as well. Unfortunate there for Spanini. But yeah, hopefully he can recover in the next races.
It's definitely going to be a long night, everybody. So go grab a snack while you can. We're going to be here for a while. But if I'm not mistaken, in the F1 games, I think you can have max 5 full safety cars. So if we somehow get to that point, we'll have green flag racing for the rest of the way. So at least we have that to look forward to.
Well,
As
hopefully everybody's got some dinner or some snack next to you, so you can munch on it and watch some exciting racing with us.
we should have, anybody got any safety car topics? We can talk about the new Mercedes livery, that release. Don't know if I'm a big fan of it. I don't like the silver and the black. I want you to go one or the other. But I mean,
Yeah,
everybody
they're
on Twitter
probably
seemed to
going
enjoy it.
back. Yeah, they're probably going back to their OG livery, but I myself was a fan of the all black. It looks so majestic on track, especially if it was any like night races or anything like that. Races in Jeddah or Qatar or Singapore, they look so good. And yeah, I mean silver is okay. I mean whatever, but yeah, I was a big fan of the black liveries for sure.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed the black ones, but you got so many black liveries on the grid now. There's definitely no shortage of that. Another thing is we got Bahrain coming up soon, and then Jeddah. They are both Saturday night races this season, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be interesting. I don't think much will change. Um,
I believe there is preseason testing as well in Bahrain.
yeah, they usually do it in Spain and Bahrain. I think. I don't know if they're. I'm sure they'll probably do it in Spain again too. But yeah, it's definitely coming up soon here. I think the only car we have left to reveal is the Red Bull, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure that happens tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen Max basically said it's exactly the same, which shocked.
Well, if you
Um,
have the fastest car in the grid, you don't need to improve it, right?
yeah. Ooh, that is true. Spanini DNFing the first two races of the season. That is a that's a hard start. But I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, I would not be surprised if we see a few more DNFs tonight. It is very difficult to drive in the wet in this game.
Yeah, Inters might have been a bad call to start the race, but I don't see, or maybe the puddles are starting to come down. I'm not sure. Fiverr also lost a lot of positions. Guys like Chaggerty, Deathstorm were able to get past him. Warren was just about to as well, just before the safety car. So yeah, maybe it'll come to life soon, but at the moment, it looks like wets are the way to go.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Obviously, they have the full weather before the race, as we do not. But the only thing I could think of is they went on inters because it was supposed to lighten up like pretty quickly. If not, I don't see why you would start on the inters at all. Um, but as the safety cars coming in this lap here, we'll see how many green flag laps we can get under our belt here. As Redog's going to lead the field to green. I mean, even just under
Hopefully
safety car, you can see how much spray there is.
Yeah, I would not be a fan of driving behind somebody with all the spray. That's for sure.
Yeah, luckily on computer you can turn spray off, so I got a little bit of an advantage there if you're on PC, but we'll see when Redog jumps here. Gotta be very careful under traction in the wet, so hopefully
Yeah.
nobody bins it coming to the green here.
Looks like Hood Kool-Aid Man's AI is just blocking everybody, unfortunately.
Gotta love
Uh,
AIs.
anyway,
As it looks like farther back, we got a Haas sending it. He's gonna maybe try and pass two guys. That is Male. He's gonna make one pass stick. There's a little bit of touching between him and Matt there. He's got the inside for this corner. He's gonna have the outside for the next. Lots of double file back here.
as Redog was just about to spin, but he caught the car, so he still keeps P1.
As we're basically all single file at the back now, it looks like.
As E. Warren and Fiverr are going at it at the back. Little bit of touching there, but seems about clean. Fiverr is definitely struggling on the intermediates, and everybody is looking to get past him as quickly as possible.
So we're gonna go on board with the birthday boy here. See if he's gonna make a pass on Male. Just thinks better of it and stays behind. Like I said, very hard to get me making passes here. It's hard to make a pass here in the dry, more or less in the wet, especially with no DRS, because I'd say everybody's running very high wings. If not, well, then you're probably wrecked out already. As
As
Deathstorm and Warren are going to get past Fire there, not too sure what happened. As
oh no,
Fire, oh, a few 5 seconds, and a few guys pitting in the back there. One's
oh
on
maybe people going where
inters.
the inners.
Yeah, one's already on inters. I don't know if anybody got wing damage. There was a few guys that looked like they might have hit each other coming to pit road there. But we'll
Yeah, Fiverr, who was already on the intermediate tires, put on new inters with a changed wing, so that's
there
why
we
he
go.
pit again.
As we have a Mercedes in the grass, but it looks like he's going to come back on track and be okay there. You definitely don't want to be mowing the lawn on a day like this. As the Haas is slow, Male Carton runs a bit wide. He's going to get passed by two people, Matt Duo and his teammate. We'll see if F7R can capitalize. He's going to go for the dive. We'll see if he makes it stick. And he is going to make it stick. There might have been a bit of contact. Male is dropping like a fly right now as Chaggerty is going to go around the outside. And he is going to make the pass stick. So Male lost, I think, 4 or 5 positions in just half a lap there. So that is very unfortunate for him.
Waiting to see if the leaders pit this lap. Redog is just about to pass the pit, and he does not. So does Stubbly, nor does DK. So the leaders are choosing to go with the wets at the moment.
As we got one guy pitting up there, that is Matt Duo. Got to give a shout out real quick to the Williams boys. I know they love the wet here. So we'll see if they can put a charge to the front. As we
A lot
got
of people getting 5-second penalties in the pit lane, unfortunately, today, as Carton is the latest victim.
As Minty's going to get passed by F7R here. Looks like F7R is going to have a charge to the front here. He might be a wet weather technician. You never know. As Warren and Death are basically doing it NASCAR style. You can lock bumpers in this series, but it's not recommended. As MVD is going to go for the pass. He's going to have the outside, though, and he touches the grass, makes a little bit of contact with Warren, and he bins it. He loses. Did he lose a tire? No, he only lost his front end plate, so he'll be able to pit and get a new one there, but very unfortunate for MVD right there.
Thankfully, no safety car or virtual, so we go. Redog has
As
opened a 1.8-second gap at the front, and he's going past the pit lane, and he does not choose to pit as Stubbly decides to go, and as well as Orlando into the
as
pit.
So gotta be the crossover at the moment. With Orlando, the latest victim of 5 second. Come on, guys, it's wet. Just slow down a hair earlier. Don't ruin your race by getting a speeding penalty. As
As
Warren's staying out here, up to fourth place. I know pit stops have happened, but that's a great position for him to be in at the moment.
Fuse sets a fastest lap of the race with the inters. So definitely it is interweather at the moment, as Fuse is going past Fragilely pretty easily on those new intermediate tires of his.
Ooh, as there's a little bit of contact, a little bit more contact. If I was five or Fragley, I'd just make the position go away because you're on obviously not the optimum tire compound, but Fuse does get by. Well,
Interesting to note that Stubbly did lose a couple of positions to the likes of Fuse and Firebag. So if Redog and DK, the leaders pit at the moment, they'll probably come behind guys like Mad Duo even or Orlando. So it'll be interesting to see when Redog and the leaders choose to pit
no, for
as
sure.
he goes in.
The problem is as well, you got to remember both Alpha Towers. As Redog gets a 5 second, you get a
Oh
penalty.
God.
You get a penalty. You get a penalty. Everybody's speeding in the
Everybody
pit
gets a
lane here.
penalty.
As
Uh,
DK has to stay out because he was teammates with Redog, so you cannot double stack, which to be fair might have probably cost you less time. But as Matt Duo is setting the fastest lap here, as he's
Inters
gained,
are definitely the tire of choice at the moment.
as he got past Orlando down into turn one, Warren just exiting the pits here. He's going to lose a lot of positions, unfortunately.
What would you have done in this situation? Would you have gone into the pits if you were DK? I probably would have.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I think you probably would have lost more time staying out than pitting, but you never know. I mean, electric blades on the wets too, so they both still have to pit. It looks like Fire Gab is in provisional P1 right now. Um, but
Yeah, for
again,
sure.
everybody's got these penalties for speeding, so that'll shake up the grid at the end if they don't pit again. But I'm sure they will.
Yeah, Stubbly looks like he's in the prime position at the moment. And the Fire Gab is definitely closing in on the leaders. He closed by about 2 seconds in the middle sector. So, you know,
Another one bites the
oh God.
dust. Another one does. Another one. Oh, sorry, can't get copyrighted. Everybody's speeding in the pit road, though.
As Fire Gab sets a 120 for the fastest lap of the race. So it's definitely, interweather at the moment.
As Nick Minty, we'll see if he dives it down the inside of turn one. It looks like he will. We'll see if he can make the pass stick. Got on the curb. Probably not the best idea in the wet. Looks like Chaggerty's still going to hold it on the outside here. He will have the inside for the embankment, and he's going to keep the position for now.
As Stubbly and Fuse are wheel to wheel with each other. As Fuse goes off the track and loses two positions to Stubbly and Redog.
As we
That's
got a fight in the
unfortunate
back
there.
here with between Chaggerty, Warren, and Nick. I'm gonna stay on board with this to see if Warren can get past these guys. He looked a little bit racy there. As
As Deadstorm and Zodic are going wheel to wheel with each other ahead of them as well. As
lots
the
of good
Williams
battling.
makes the move on the Red Bull driver.
And we'll see if the Haas of Nick here, he's gonna dive it up, which will be the inside. Is he gonna be able to make it stick? He will. We'll see if E. Warren can do the switchback here. Does not look like it, but Nick up a position up into P13.
Wondering what Electric Blade is choosing to do here because he's on the wets and still going with he's falling back to the likes of Stubbly Redog, and if he does not pit, he is going to be behind all the intermediate runners. So not the ideal situation for him for sure. I think he's expecting the conditions to dry sooner.
Yeah, either is hoping it to be dry or he's expecting waiting for a safety car. But the rain does look like it has lightened up a very strong amount here. Excuse me. As we're gonna be with the Redog and Stubbly here, as Fire Gab just keeps getting that lead bigger and bigger.
does have a 5 second penalty, but he is increasing the gap to Stubbly. So uh, it'll be good to see how fast Stubbly can close up, or if he can, and stay within the 5 seconds to get the win.
Yeah, in theory, let's say they don't have to pit again. Stubley is in the best position here. He is the only one in the top four without a 5 second time penalty. Um, so I mean,
But Gab is flying at the moment. He's setting fast
as
lap after fastest lap.
because I don't know if Stubley let Redog by or if Redog was just burning, but Redog was zooming down the straight, so he got past Stubley there. We'll see if Redog
Electric
can make
Blade,
any roads into um, the leader.
as Electric Blade finally chooses to pit and get on those intermediate tires, which will put him way back at the grid. He's coming out at P17 at the moment. Very, very unfortunate, or very strange tire choice from him, strategy from him, but is what it is.
For sure, yeah, that definitely was going to hurt him. I think he was just hoping for a safety car at that point. That was really the only thing that was going to save him. And even then, most people probably wouldn't have pit. But we are 1/3 through the race here. I mean, there's a few battles going on, but again, it's a wet, so it's going to be pretty spread out. We got Matt doing Orlando, and then we got Nick Minty. And it looked like there was a bit of contact between Minty and Exotic. Exotic's going to lose a few spots. Deathstorm, or sorry, Warren's going to say thank you very much. He's going to go to the outside here. We'll see if he can make the move stick. As there's a bit of contact, Warren goes into the gravel trap. We'll see if he can keep his position of 12th. Exotic's going to go around the outside. A little bit of wheel banging. We'll see. Exotic's going to have the inside. He's going to back out of it. But Nick getting a second of a gap on E. Warren because of the little battle there.
That's unfortunate for the Williams driver, but yeah, we still got Dead Storm with a 4 second gap to Nick Minty. So hopefully some points for the team this race. As Redog closes in on Fire Gap by about a second on the last lap, setting the fastest lap in the process as well.
As his race pace is looking good in the wet. Um, very
For
intrigued.
sure.
It could be a battle between those two for the end. That is, if they can get 5 seconds ahead of Stubley here. I still think Stubley's in the best position. He's keeping that 5 second gap to the leader. He's only
He is
four and a
4.2 seconds
half
behind.
ish. Yeah, so he's looking in golden position, but I definitely think there'll be another pit stop. Don't know if
As
it'll
Electric
dry up,
Blade
but
makes a
oh,
move
caution!
on Chaggerty. Yellow flags. It's a Ferrari of Chaggerty around.
I don't know if he's trying to bring out a safety car or
He
what
gets
he's
going there
doing.
as DRS is enabled.
It still
So
looks
will
wet
we
out there, so
see
that's weird.
as Carton goes into the pits? Let's see what he puts on.
It's weird. It still looks like
He's.
it's raining, so I'm very intrigued.
I think it's drying up slowly, and as Carton goes on to the medium tires, Warren onto the hards,
I
Minty onto the hards as well.
don't know if I'd want to be going on to the Hearts if the track's wet, but hey, you definitely wouldn't have to pit again, so I see the strategy there. Um,
As Carton comes out of the pits, looks very squirrely. So it is not exactly dry, but it's going to get dry pretty soon. I'm assuming. So think the leaders might choose to pit this lap as Fire Gab is about to go into the pits. Let's see what Redog does. Redog chooses to go
oh,
another lap as well as Stubbly as
that's
Fire Gap gets another 5 second penalty.
I would
Oh
I'd
no.
probably say that's race over for Fire Gab there because he's gonna have 8 seconds in time penalties because he's gonna serve as one 5 second time penalty under pit stops, but I'd say that's Fire Gab's race done unless there's a safety car, unfortunately. But as Spanini's given us word, his computer pooped itself. That is why he wrecked out, not because he started on the inters.
Oh,
So
that is unfortunate,
that is not
mate.
what you love to see.
hopefully he'll be able to come back in the next few races and get some good points.
Yeah, so we got. I think it stopped raining now.
Yeah, it looks completely
Nice.
dry.
Yes. You're definitely going to want to enter the pits this lap, I would say. If not, you're going to be losing boatloads of time here. Um, so
Electric
Stubbly,
Blade looks like he's come out with hearts and he's on P11. So, if he had chosen to go out a couple of laps, he might have just made one pit stop there.
no, for sure. I think Stubbly, in theory, should retain the lead here because Redog's going to have to serve a 5 second when he pits. Um, so they're
Hopefully,
flashing.
Stubbly doesn't get one.
I don't know if they're still flashing because it's technically wet or they were down on ERS. But the top few guys are
Yeah.
flashing, so
I think it's because they were
but
on the wet tires, or
oh maybe.
rather than the Stubbly goes out and he is not flashing anymore. Hopefully, once he crosses the pits. But yeah,
As I
as
think Fire Gab's gonna retain the lead, but obviously with penalties he will not. Stubbly is going to be your leader once we factor in time penalties.
Mad
Redog back into
Duo
P3 there.
Mad Duo is right behind him. Hopefully, these two battle. Mad Duo will be looking to make a move as Redog still needs to warm up his tires. Nick Minty sets a fastest lap in
Uh,
P13 at the moment.
I'm interested that that Matt went on mediums there. I don't know if the mediums will get you to the end. I mean, I'm sure they'll get you there, but they'll definitely be screaming at the end. As we have a bit
Yeah,
of a scrummage back here, we'll see if Electric Blade can get past the Alpha Tauri. He's just going to slot back in line there until a better overtaking opportunity arises.
I think we might see a move for P3 here as Matt is closing and DRS is now enabled. So as Fire Gap sets a fastest lap of the race with a 1:13.8. Matt Duo sets the fastest lap, but he is completely out of ERS and is blinking.
For sure, yeah. We'll see if Redog's pace continues now that we're in the dry running conditions. But it seems like this season so far in COS, you either start in the rain and end in the dry, or start in the dry and end in the rain. There's no full dry or no full wets, so definitely gotta be thinking on your toes here. As Electric Blade is going to adjust back out of that overtake on DK Nortec. We'll see if he can get the better run off here and try and make a pass. Not the best passing zone ever, but looks like he's just going to stay behind for now
As
as he
Electric
is
Blade is
blinking.
also flashing. Yeah, he probably used a lot in order to catch up.
So as we're running here, Aston Martin is looking golden for the most points for constructors. As long as they can hold on. We got one of them on hard tires, one of them on mediums. Fire Gab is blinking at the front of the field, so Stubbly will be catching most likely.
If I were Matt and Stubbly, I would be telling Matt to battle Redog as much as he can at the moment, so that he takes a longer time to catch up to Stubbly. Because if that happens, Stubbly will effectively win the race because Fire Gab has an 8-second penalty. So, but looks like Matt will have a hard time keeping up with him with him being out of ERS and all.
Yeah, I would say Stubbly's probably the fastest driver on track right now, or at least in the top three. But you got to remember now, Redog does not have that 5 second penalty, so he will finish wherever he finishes, which he's probably excited about because it's always unfortunate um, when the 5 second kicks you at the end there.
Yep.
As that's just getting past the AI, so no big deal. This is a little bit of a train starting from 8th on back to 11th. That seems like the closest battles on track at the moment, as Matt Duo was falling about a second and a half back of Redog there, as Stubbly is coming. And now Redog's coming. We'll see if any of these guys can get past Mail, as Mail is the leader of the train and will not have DRS on this super long DRS zone. As it looks like DK is going to go to the outside of Deathstorm here. We'll see if he can make the double overtake. He cannot, just a bit too far back. As he runs wide, which means Death may get underneath him again, but he does not. So they're going to stay single file as they head into the embankment.
Just about to say that is having a fantastic race. He's moved up. He was up 8 positions, but now he's up 7. So hopefully he can stick with these guys at the front with Carton and DK and fight off everybody behind. So and get some good points. But
For sure.
Doubly is in the DRS of Gab at the moment.
Yeah, we definitely do not want to see Deathstorm lose one more position because he does not like that 11th spot too much. That is basically a cursor for him. He seems to finish in that 11th spot more than anybody, as Subley is just a bit too far back to make any move on Fire Gab. But again, Fire Gab, I think, does have 8 seconds in time penalties, so Stubbly doesn't necessarily have to pass him. Redog is not catching him at the moment.
Fire Gab is interestingly has a yellow icon next to his fuel indicator, so he might need to start saving, or he needs to hope for another safety car.
As it looks like Mail and DK were going at it, but Mail got the position. One of them was blinking there for a second. Mail is blinking. But they have pulled a second on the Deathstorm and Electric Blade pair, so they will not. Deathstorm will not have DRS. He might get swallowed up by Electric Blade there, but we're going to stay on board with this battle. We'll see if DK can bank the corner here. He'll get DRS. We'll see if he can get down and get the DRS to help him get the pass. As he is zooming, as Death did
Oh,
end up
yellows,
getting.
yellows. Where is it? Think it's Warren? Is it Warren? No.
Death did end up getting the DRS, but it looks like Electric Blade is going to make the pass for the inside there. As
Sector 2 yellows out. It's
Death is running a
fraggly.
bit slow here. I don't know if something's wrong, but he is losing a crap ton of
Oh,
time.
he has a yellow next to his fuel icon as well.
Ah, that
So
that
he
would make
might be saving
sense.
there.
That would make sense because he was like falling back even in the DRS.
As Stubbly has made a move for the lead. He looks the best out of the top 3 at the moment. He has the most ERS. He doesn't have any fuel issues. He looks set for a victory here today.
No, for sure. We're gonna go on board with Mail here because I think this is about the closest battle we got on track at the moment. But he is blinking. We'll see if he can get back DK, who got him the lap prior.
I can tell you that there are around 5 to 6 drivers who have fuel issues. So that it'll stick around, folks. It might be an interesting end.
Yeah, fuel is very hard to come by here. You definitely have to overfuel a lot. Um, it's just like Qatar. You were in fuel like you didn't even put any in there. But I got to give him credit. So far, hopefully there's no commentator's curse, a lot cleaner of a race than last week, even though we did have pouring rain at the start. Only one safety car, I think. Well, one full safety car.
Yep,
So
one
knock on
VSC
wood.
and one full. So
Hopefully no commentator's curse. But yeah, we're definitely a better show this week. As the
that's
field's
for
getting
sure.
pretty spread out now, which tends to happen when it's mixed conditions like this. But Electric Blade is still right on the rear of Mail here. It's just so hard to get past people at this track. But Mail is blinking, so Electric Blade, I'm sure he's just waiting to go because um, he can see that flash and he knows that he will be below 10%. As Deathstorm, I hate to say it, he is in P11. Can we get a rest
That's
in peace and chat for Deathstorm?
well, don't count him out yet, just yet. There, Ben. There's still 13 laps to go.
There sure is. And Nick is catching him quick. I think Death was hoping for the rain to stay. He loves to race in the rain. as
Nick
Minty.
Minty gets a 3 second time penalty, unfortunately. There's only two drivers with penalties at the moment, with Nick having three and Fire having eight.
As the birthday boy makes it past Mail, but they were both blinking, so they are both below 10% there. As Warren's
Oh,
gonna fall back in line there. He is blinking as well.
as Stubbly opens up the gap on to over a second now. It's a second 1.3, and he looks nailed on for the win today.
Yeah, he definitely looks like the most consistent driver to start the season. Finished in P3 last week, looking like if it holds out, he's looks like the fastest driver on track at the moment. So a very strong start to the season if he can bring it home.
Definitely, he definitely shut the commentators up a little bit last week with an impressive drive after falling back from the safety car. But yeah, he has had an amazing start for sure. He
Also,
looks so racy and so aggressive in his driving, clean, aggressive, and yeah, he's just on form at the moment. Driver to beat, definitely.
also shout out to Matt Duo back in P4 after last week he finished in 15th, so definitely a good recovery from him. Should get him some good points there if he stays there, as it looks like Fiverr is gone for the pass on Exotic and he has made it stick. Has still only one retirement of this race so far, which is something you love to see.
And mind you, it was not an incident. It was because his PC shut down or something like that. So far, it's been a clean race, I have to say.
No, for sure. The field is definitely starting to get spread out now. I think there's only, it looks like there's only one,
There's about three or four
two,
battles.
yeah, two guys in
That's
DRS,
it.
single DRS trains, and then we got the DRS train between 13th, 14th, and 15th, which is the battle we're staying on board for at the moment because get the most drivers here. But again, yeah, this track is definitely a fuel burner. Um, Maybe they
Yeah,
thought since it was raining they could put in a little bit less, or maybe they just weren't too sure how much fuel to originally put in the first place. But hopefully they can save the fuel here and bring it home.
yeah. Looks like Gab needs to do a lot of saving because he is down by over half a lap. So he needs to lift and coast at the moment for sure.
Yeah, not good for him either, seeing he does have those 8 seconds in time penalties. He could fall out of the points here. Most likely not, though, because DK's 8 seconds back of 7. Yeah, no, so he should still get some points. Might not be the result he was looking for, but if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
I think this is his first race of the season. So, good showing for sure.
Orlando is also down by about point 0.2 laps, 0.02, sorry. So he's about even at the moment. Hopefully he can do a little bit of lifting and coasting.
As
But yeah,
Nick,
Gab looks to be in trouble.
for sure, as Nick Minty is on the back of Deathstorm, pushing him along here, as he will get the DRS and should make this pass pretty easily. We'll see if Deathstorm defends. He does not. Probably a smart move there. He is basically out of ERS, it looks like. So
L-
Nick and Mail, both hosses, 10th and 11th.
As Deadstorm has about minus point 0.8.
Oof.
So,
That's definitely
oh,
going to be
that's
hard to
rough.
save that much. Yeah, that is a lot to save. As it looks like Fuse and F7R might have had a bit contact. They looked like they were going a bit slow, but we'll see here. We'll stay on board with these two, see if anything happens.
This looks to be the closest battle of any significance on the grid at the moment.
How many are going to run out of fuel at the moment? I think there's about 5 or 6. If they don't save
Yeah,
a decent amount, like they're not just under either. They're under by well, for this track, they're under by a lot.
yeah. A couple of people are about even, maybe like point 0.1 down, but Fire Gab and Deadstorm have a lot of catching up to do. if they want to finish this race.
I mean, even though you're as Redog's caught the back of Fire Gab here, even though it's a high downforce track and not a very long track, you are in the throttle for a very long time. Like a lot of the corners are fast, high speed corners, so you are in the throttle for a long time. So it's very hard to save fuel here, I would say.
Yeah, it's basically a slow in, fast out kind of track. So, yeah,
As it
that's why I think fuel is a big issue around this circuit for sure.
as Exotic is in the pits, we'll see if
Also, getting
Redog.
himself a 5-second penalty there.
That's the name of the game today. We'll see if Redog can make this pass. It looks like he is zooming.
Should be
Fire
easy
Gab's not
considering,
even gonna defend there.
yeah, I wouldn't expect him to. He needs to be lifting and coasting, so I would just let him
Oh,
go.
safety,
Uh,
virtual safety car. I
oh,
wonder what happened there. It doesn't I don't see anybody around. So either they got back going or I don't know, but it is a VSC, which is okay. Nobody will really lose positions. We'll see if anybody dives into the pits. It looks like Electric Blade and Mail are both going to dive into the pits there. The other Haas is not. So he's going to get a few spots. As this VSC was coming out, I was going to say, it'd be interesting to see if Redog can catch Stubbly. Should be a good battle for the win at the end there, with 8 laps to go.
this will definitely help out guys like Deathstorm and Gab for sure. Uh, Especially Gab with its 8-second penalties was looking like how hard going to be a hard race for him. But this brings him Gab back into the game as Zodic gets a drive through speeding under safety car,
You don't
virtual
like to
safety
see
car.
that, but we are back under green as we're going to go on board with F7R here. Looks like the closest battle on track at the moment. If I was the people under fueled there. Oh, as Chaggerty
Oh, Haggerty
retires, is that in the
retires
pits? That is in the pits, so we are fine. He might have been the guy to bring out the VSC then. I'm not too sure, but we'll see here.
as Carton goes past Warren for P12.
As Deathstorm back up into the points. Gotta give a shout out to him. He's got a 4-second gap to Electric. We'll see if he can hold that off till the end here with 7 laps remaining. I don't know if Redog is going to be fast enough to catch in that short period of time, to be honest. Basically, going to have to gain a half a second a lap.
Yeah, well, Stubbly has way better ERS than Redog at the moment, and yeah, he'll take some doing for Redog to catch up, but hopefully he can get some DRS with. I think that Hood Kool-Aid Man in the front.
Uh,
Probably it is, and he'll probably get some DRS uh, off of a back marker.
yeah, Hood is, I think, again, not in here. I think that is his AI, so um, he
Oh
shouldn't do
no,
too
it's
much.
Zodic in front of him,
But
but
Matt
yeah.
Duo has caught Fire Gab. We'll see if he can get past him here. Fire Gab is defending. Matt Duo swings out at the last second. Luckily, because if not, he probably would have driven straight into the back of him because Fire is saving fuel, so he let off very early into turn 1 there. But again, Aston Martin 1-3 right now, looking great for that team for the points.
Yeah, definitely. Matt Duo, much better showing, like we said this evening today, and yeah, he's gonna bring home about 40 points for the team, unless they have a fast slap as well. So good showing from the Aston boys tonight.
Oh, for sure. It's very good.
Yep. Looks like the only battle on track as well is for P5 between Fuse and F7R. The Ferrari and the Mercedes have been going at it for about 10 laps, 15 laps, I want to say.
As you say, that electric blade with a beautiful move around the outside to unfortunately put Deathstorm back in P11, which he had a 4-second gap. So I don't know if Deathstorm made a mistake there, because that is a lot of time to lose in a short period of time.
Well, Deathstorm, you got to consider is saving fuel. So
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, he was very down, so that's a
yeah,
bit unfortunate for him. Which I'm surprised because he usually goes conservative on fuel. if I remember
Yep.
correctly. So that's just unfortunate. But we'll go on board with Mail. He should be able to make the pass on Death pretty easily here, because he does have the DRS, and Death does not. Death's not going to bother defending. No surprise there, as Death is back down into P12 now. We'll see if Mail can catch Electric Blade for the last points paying position. As again, F7R is probably the closest battle on track here. Fuse and F7R, they've been going at it for most of the race, to be fair.
Oh, Chewie has retired, and it brings out a safety
Oh,
car.
no, it doesn't look like it. I think he retired in
Oh,
pit
he.
road,
Oh, okay. Thank God. Yes, he is in the pits.
which is surprise. He was doing okay, wasn't he? I mean, I don't know if he was in the points, but
No, he was way down.
uh,
Yeah,
that is
unfortunate.
unfortunate. You hate to see it because there was so little laps left to the finish, but be
Yeah.
very intrigued here to see if F7R gets past Fuse. These two will definitely jump up at least one spot each, because Fire is got those 8 seconds of time penalty. I think if I'm doing math
Yeah.
correctly at the moment, I think Fire will be dropping back to P7 at the moment. So it looks like Fuse, F7R, and Orlando, as long as they can stay where they are, they will be all getting in one position.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Fuse and F7R can actually catch Fire Gap on track and make a pass, because they are closing in. In the last lap alone, they've caught up about I want to say 8 tenths, 7 tenths at the moment. So yeah, Fuse is definitely going to get DRS from him in a lap or two.
As F7R is going for the pass, he will make it stick very nicely. That is how you get a pass done right there. As Fuse obviously gives him the respect, knew he was ahead before the corner, and just surrendered the position, which will be okay because he will get the DRS back. I think these guys are sort of, well, one or the other,
Yellow's out.
and that looks like it is one of the Alpines or the Williams. Not
That
too sure
is
which.
a. I think it is Deathstorm. Just
No,
Warren.
that is not what you like to see. Not Deathstorm. He's, ugh, just going from bad to worse for Deathstorm. That is
Yes.
unfortunate.
Oh no, he has spun.
Oh, as
Deathstorm
Fire.
spins.
Fire is going very slow. Deathstorm, I'm guessing, is spun because his tires are so hot, but Fuse and Fire have both got past. Sorry, Fuse and F7R both got past Fire. So we'll see if F7R can catch Matt
Oh,
Duo.
as what?
Oh,
Oh no,
Death retired.
Deathstorm
And there's
just
a safety
goes into the
car.
wall. He
Oh,
goes into the wall. Oh my
was it
god.
intentional?
I don't
I
know.
wasn't
I don't know, to be
watching, but
honest.
that
I
changes
don't know.
everything. We'll see. Do you dive into the pit road here? It is a very tough call. If I was the top three, I would. As it looks like Stubbly's going to
Stubbly
dive
going in.
in. And Redog's going to follow him. Very smart move there. You definitely
What are
don't
you
want to be
doing
on the
for Matt
older.
Duo now?
I would go. The double stack should be fine. He should be out of the pit box before you get there. We'll see if anybody
Yep,
stays
he
out.
does. He does go in. Who wants to take a gamble?
I was going to say, if I was like Orlando, I would just stay out, take the gamble. You know what? There's going to be green, white checkered basically. I would have probably stayed out if I was him, but you know what? You're also going to be a sitting duck, so I like the
Yeah.
call. This is going to get interesting, everybody. It's going to kill Fire. Fire is going to lose an immense amount of spots. Well, maybe not, because he'll service 5 seconds, so
Yeah,
he'll only have
he's
three
gonna get
seconds.
three.
But
Yeah,
still,
and
that
if he makes up some moves, I think the safety car should be whatever happens is gonna get come back in this lap, so we'll have 2 laps of racing. But yeah, I'm expecting Orlando has a penalty as well.
oh, he must have got
Uh,
that when he got into pit road because he did
let's
not
see
have that
what
before.
Yeah, he has a 5 seconds, unfortunately. So if Fire can make some move stick and get a gap going, he might get into the top 5 or 6. I want to
Yeah,
say.
I think the safety car will be in next lap no matter what, whether everybody's caught up, because you do have
No,
to
I
have
think it's
two
gonna
green
come in
flag.
this lap. I
You think
think it's gonna
so?
come in this lap. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it'll
because
have to, because you need 35, 36. Yes, you
yeah,
have a good point there. So it's
it
not going to matter if people are caught up or not. It's going to be a fight to the finish here,
yeah.
everybody. Stubbly
So
probably did not want
everybody
this to
needs
happen.
to. Yes, others need to catch up to the leaders as soon as they can because if they want to make moves, like guys like Nick Nortec is almost caught up, Minty Blade, if they want to make moves and get some points, they need to catch up to the leaders real quick.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting here. It looks like the
Safety
top,
car
I think
in.
the top seven are all on new tires. I'm not too sure if anybody else is. It looks like a lot of guys pit. We'll see where Stubbly goes here. As he is gone, caught Redog sleeping just a hair, but they will all have 100% ERS. We'll see if they saved enough fuel to get them to the end as we got two to go. Stubbly got away nicely. He does have a 5/10 gap already. We'll see what happens a little bit farther back. Looks like it's all single file. Nobody making any passes at this point. But again, everybody will have max ERS, which should help out Redog here. But DRS will not be active.
Top 10 all within a second of each other. Only Carton and Down weren't able to catch the leaders. Everybody will be looking to make their moves, get more points than they're actually getting. So, yeah, it looks like we have a good finish at the end as Redog and Stubbly are within 4/10 of each other. Redog using most of his ERS.
No, for sure. It also does look like the Orlando and Fire may be okay with points because Mail is 3 seconds behind the last points paying position. As we have a caution, but that is in the back, so we're not going to worry about that too much. We're going to stick at this front battle as Stubbly should be burning all of his ERS down this straight here. You do not want to get past. As
As Matt Duo is already blinking.
that is
He's
not
down to
what you like to
1%.
see. He was low on ERS before. The safety car was very short. He might not have had enough time to get all of his ERS back. As it should be a
That
good
is a
fight between the
possibility.
finish here, but really there's not too many more passing zones. Maybe down into turn 12. I think that's probably your only opportunity left to go for a pass. We'll see if Redog
Orlando
can make
looking
it.
to make a move on Fuse here. They were pretty close.
We're going to stick on board with Redog here. Everybody is blinking. They have all used all their ERS, which if I was Stubbly, that would concern me because the line is pretty far. It's a long straightaway to get there.
Well, both have no ERS left, so it's going to be who gets the better exit down to the final corner. It's down between Stubbly and Redog for the win here.
As they
Stubbly
are
gets a
both
better
blinking.
exit out of the line. I think he's going to make it.
And it looks like Stubbly is going to win round 2 at Netherlands.
As Matt Duo holds on for P3. And Fuse gets P4 as Fire Gab goes down to P8. And Orlando is out of the points in P11. That is unfortunate
That is
for the
not what you like
McLaren
to see.
driver.
That is not what you like to see. That speeding
Warren,
penalty just killed him at the end there.
yeah. Warren is coming down to the line to finish P13. AI of Hood on 14, Bragley 15, and Zotic will finish in P16.
Well, there you have it, everybody. That is race over. Very exciting finish. If you want to get the top three, oh no, I gotta get them in here, don't I? We really need to make
Yeah.
you make the voice
Yeah.
chat. So we will get the top three here into the podium. What a day for Aston Martin there. What a recovery from Matt Duo compared to last week. Great drive by him as Warren gets your driver of the day. But again, Stubbly looked strong. Basically, from the start, he looked like he was the fastest car out there. Um, yeah, that was a great race. A lot better than last week's race. That's what you like to see: close, hard, clean racing. But if you want to take us through the finishing order one final
Yep.
time.
Sure thing. So Stubbly gets the win here in Netherlands, P1, followed by Redog in P2. Aston Martin, Matt Duo, P3, F7RJ is P4, Fuse P5 with Nortec 6, Electric Blade on his birthday finishing P7, Fire Gab, unfortunate penalties gets him down to P8, Carton in 9 with his teammate in P10, Orlando down to P11, Fiverr in P12. Warren in P13 with the AI of Hood Kool-Aid Man finishing P14. Fragley P15 with Zotic in P16. Your DNFs, Deadstorm, Chewy, Chaggerty, and unfortunately Sponini. Make sure everyone, if you again get your race directory as well before the timer runs out, so it'll help you in case of any reports and stuff. Yeah, and congratulations to the top three once again. Aston Martin getting the most points. Anybody who predicted for constructors, including myself, enjoyed the channel points that you're about to get. And we should be moving into the interviews shortly.
For sure. I'm just going to send the invites now for them to get in the voice call. So as soon as I get in here, we will start the interviews. But hopefully everybody enjoyed. Like I said, a lot better racing this week than last week. So that's good to see. Um,
Definitely.
you never want to see wrecks in that. Yeah, I mean that's just unfortunate when that stuff happens. Um,
Yes.
but it looks
It
like
was a much cleaner
somebody.
race. A little bit of excitement at the end, but all in all, I want to say a very clean drive by everybody. For sure. This time around.
No, for sure, that was great racing. We'll just wait for the other two to get in the VC real quick. Somebody else just joined. Perfect. We're just waiting
Doubly
on one more here. Then we'll
Matt.
get the interviews going.
Oh
Hopefully
my god.
everybody won their channel points there. Hopefully you predicted correctly. But we'll get into the interviews here as we will start with our third place finisher, Matt. Great recovery from last week, sir. You looked fast out there. How'd the car feel?
What a race. That was an intense race, great battles, and and yeah, I'm so happy for the P3. I'm so nervous.
No, for sure. Yeah, you
Yeah.
you definitely you definitely have helped out Aston Martin there. Were you worried at all when the last safety car came out? Were you worried you were going to lose any spots, or were you pretty confident on P3?
Uh, really, the medium tires. I was strongly so more, so the safety car was so. Uh,
For sure. As we will move to our P2 driver, Redog. After a P11 last week, coming into P2, you followed your quali lap up to have some race pace. How did the car feel for you?
Um, Felt great. Just pretty sad about that 5 second time penalty. So I feel like if I didn't get that, I would have been up there.
No, for sure.
But other than yeah,
Did you feel more confident in the wet or the dry conditions?
definitely the wet. I had good pace. I was pulling 5/10 to like everyone behind me. So yeah, I like the wet.
No, for sure. If it makes you feel any better, I can tell you this for a fact: you were not the only one to get a drive-through. Basically, everybody was getting drive-throughs.
You mean the 5 second
That's
penalties?
what I meant. I am so slow; it's not even funny. Do you have any questions for him, Devil?
Redog, did you go with a wet setup or a dry one? Because it looked like you were flying in the wets today. So was interested to know how you set up the car for the race today.
No, I used a dry setup, and I was quite surprised how fast I was in the wet.
You definitely were, sir. Congratulations on the P2.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to our winner, Stubley. You're gonna have a permanent seat in the booth here, and if you keep it up,
Yeah,
P1.
I mean,
Uh,
He's making us bite our words from last week,
yeah.
for sure.
How'd the car feel?
I mean, honestly, that wet, like when I that wet when I saw Redog taking off, I was like, oh well, I guess I'm not winning. Like it's not I'm not looking to get a win, but as soon as it dried up and I was like, oh my god, like 14 people got 5-second penalties, and I was just about to get one as well. So I was like, I mean, it felt pretty good though. So
Yeah, I was gonna say congrats. One of the only top. I think you were the only one in the top four at the moment that didn't have a
huge.
5 seconds. So I definitely think that helped you, but you definitely looked fast out there the whole time.
Yeah.
Um, did you set your car up for the wet or for the dry?
You know what? I had no idea that it was going to be raining, so I had just had I've only I've only got the dry setup, so that was what I used.
No, for sure. To be fair, I don't think the dry and the wet setup are that much different on a track like this. You might up your rear wing a bit, but
Yeah, yeah.
um, well, I think after the first two showings, I think you're looking like maybe a strong contender for championship leader. Do you think you can continue this pace and try and stay on top?
Obviously, I hope so, but unfortunately, I won't be able to make next week, which
Oh,
is I'm so upset about, honestly. But I hope that doesn't break my chances. And but honestly, just come back in Singapore and keep going.
okay, that's okay. We'll keep your seat warm in the booth
I appreciate it.
for Singapore. So,
I appreciate
um,
it. I appreciate it.
on that note, everybody, I think that is going to conclude the stream. Hopefully, you all enjoyed, and until next time, keep your wheels on the track.